Okay, so once the building corners are marked, oftentimes those corners get immediately destroyed when construction begins, so we have to preserve the points, and a common way to do that is with batter boards. So here we have laid out 2x6s. These could also be 2x4s or other stock lumber. We're going to set them roughly 4 to 5 feet off the line and drive stakes in front of them, and we're going to shoot our batter boards in so they are even with a reference line or potentially finished floor height. So all I do, if I'm setting this line right here between these two stakes, I center my batter board on those two about 4 or 5 feet back, and I'm going to take, in this case, a steel stake. You can use a wood stake as well, and drive it in until it's firm. So depending on your soil type, you may have to take them farther. We're not going to screw the batter boards to the stakes yet though, because we want to get those level. Again, we're going to line it up. Once your stakes are driven for batter boards, then you're ready to align the tops of the batter boards. So we have a laser set up right in the center of our building pad, powered up, and we're going to use this laser to set these all at the same height. So we've already shot grid. I know that this northeast corner is the highest point, so I'm going to set this 1x3 that I have my receiver on close to one stake and zero it in. So we're zeroed in right there, and then I'm going to take my pencil and give myself a mark so I know this is my reference mark that I want all of the batter boards set to, and we'll pretend this is final floor height. So Ed's going to hold that stable for me. I'm going to drive this screw. And then the other side, we don't need a level because we can use the laser to get this done. So he's going to lift that up just about 1/4 of an inch is all we need. Then I'll drive my next screw. Looks good, Ed. Alright, so one batter board set. We'll do the next one that's right here near us. Hold your stick near one stake, and it says we got to come up quite a bit, Ed. We need to be about here if you want to come up and meet the bottom of that stick. Right there looks good. And if we don't get them right on, we can tap these stakes with a hammer, so I'd rather be a little bit high, if anything. So we'll check this. You need to come down 1/2 of an inch, Ed, if you want to tap that stake. That's it. 1/4 inch it says. Right there, we're good. And this next side says right there is 0 if you want to meet the stake. There, you good? Alright, let's move to the next one. Alright, so now our batter boards are all set with the tops in the correct position, minus our low corner. It's time to mark the batter boards so that we can stretch a string between them. So we've got 2 ways to do this, and we'll show you both. The first way, if you're under 100 feet, it's easy to do this with strings. So I like to go into my corner stake with a nail or a screw and put that right in my corner mark. So I have one here, and I'm going to hook that on the screw. Walk toward the next corner, and I'm close enough I can see that X. If I was farther, I would put a screw in it or have a partner stand near it. But I'm going to hold this string tight, and I mean tight enough that you're almost going to break it, until I'm right over the X down here on the corner. And when I'm right there, I'm going to set the tip of my screw. Now some guys like to put the screw on the top like I'm doing here. I've seen where the screw goes on the back and the string wraps over the top, and I've even seen a saw kerf. So it's up to you how you go about that. So do a double check. And we're looking good. Now Ed, if you want to bring that loop and hook it on this screw, we can use this screw as a reference, so he'll hook it down here and we'll mark the other side. I'm going to steal this so that this screw is not in the way. Good? So I'm going to pull that nice and tight, move it left or right until I'm right over that corner mark, mark my screw. You can leave it hooked so you can pull your string taut then, figure out about where tight's going to be. So I need to pull it maybe about 6 or 8 inches. I'm going to make a loop and twist it with my fingers and then pull it tight and pull the excess backward, and in doing so it makes a nice removable knot. So I can pull my string and check that I'm directly on the corner, which I am. So I'd repeat this for my other corners and obviously the back side, which we haven't set. And then if we remove this corner where the 2 strings intersect, memorializes our point. So that's method 1, using string lines to mark your batter board. Second option to mark batter boards is with an optical instrument. So I have a digital theodolite here that I've set up with the optical plummet directly over our corner point on this stake. So I'm sighting down, my partner's holding our mark on our corner stake. I can lock into 0 and then he'll move back to the batter board and he'll transfer that mark at my direction. So I'm going to go ahead and sight in on him and get focused up here. Alright, once I've found my partner and I have the crosshairs directly on the pencil, I'm going to hit my 0 set button. So I have my angle set to 0. And then Ed, you can go ahead and move back to the batter board. So the batter board is unmarked, so he's going to put his pencil on the front of the batter board and I'll direct him left or right. So I need to pan up with my tangent screw just a little bit until I find that batter board, refocus. And I'm not allowed to do my left or right, so I accidentally touched that, so I'm going to re-zero. There we go, my angle. And I'm only using the up and down. So Ed, you need to move to the your left about 1/8 of an inch. That's it right there. Make a mark. And then go to the back side. Go to your left about 1/16 of an inch. A little bit too far. Come back. Right there. And connect the dots. Alright, now that we have that mark, my partner is going to come around to this side, and I know that a straight line, if I rotate, is 180 degrees. So if I unclamp and turn my angle around to 180, and I'm reading down here, so when I get close, lock it, use the tangent screw to get it right on the money. Now this is a little bit difficult because he's so close, so I'm only going to use my vertical motion. I'm going to come way down, get that sighting scope on it, and then use my focus. Go to the back corner behind that knot. Go to your right, right there, and make a mark. Okay, and the front corner, go to your left about 1/16, A little bit too far, come back. We're talking just little hairs. Too far, go back the other way. Second mark, and then connect your dots. Ideally we'd have a straight edge, but we'll do this freehand. Good. So that's the method for setting batter boards using an optical plummet to mark. And we did the string line method first. You'll see that between the string line and the optical we're about maybe a heavy 1/16 or even 1/8 of an inch off between our first mark and our second mark, so the optical is more accurate.